Next paper is Peristernal Infiltration, Composite Breast Augmentation by Francisco Bravo. And he's going to go ahead and speak for us. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank the scientific committee for allowing me to present my work here today. So, in order to achieve natural results in breast augmentation, it is important to understand the features that make an attractive breast and also to avoid surgical stigmata. Of course, that implant-based breast augmentation may produce a separated breast deformity and an LR-VAL dissociation. Thank you very much.
This paper is going to be discussed by Joe Cerletti. Joe?
First, I want to congratulate you on getting through 109 slides in the time allotted. Seriously, I want to congratulate you on a great concept, and that is really approaching multiple aspects of breast augmentation as a single operation, so that we're not just relying alone on implant augmentation, but using fat grafting in the selected patient for improvement immediately. A couple of questions. In your presentation, it looked like you did the fat grafting first and then put the implant in, and I wanted to know what your reasoning for that was.
Yeah, that's a very good question, the reason why I do it first, as you observed, it was right, I do it before putting the implant, is mainly to avoid harming the implant afterwards. Of course, you could put an expander before, and then using sort of like an expander, and putting your fat first and then putting it out. But I'd rather put the fat first before I open any pockets up, because I'm also concerned, besides harming the implant, that if I have already put my pocket in, some of that fat might be lost or lost when I put it in, and it will go into the pocket and not have an effect.
What's your typical fat donor site?
Excuse me?
Your typical fat donor site?
My typical donor site would be the lateral hips. And actually that's a good question, because most of these procedures that you want to turn into sort of routine procedures, like for example in rhinoplasty surgery, you have the downside of having to go into harvesting or getting a donor site, which many times might be a problem. In this site, instead of a problem, many patients, although they are thin, they see it as an advantage when we tell them, or I tell them that I have to take some fat away from them. I haven't seen any woman that has been sort of, you got to take fat away from me, that's too bad. Because some of these patients are thin, but they have quite a lot of fat in their hips, so not all of them. So they are glad, because they have sort of like an excuse to get that fat removed, where otherwise they would say, you're crazy, why would you want to get that fat removed, you're so thin. And they have sort of a reason to do so because the doctor said so. Sort of like breathing bad and you have to get a rhinoplasty afterwards. But it is true that in some patients I've had difficulty finding a good donor site. I might go back in the lower hip region, and that when I've had difficulty, I find that I can always find some fat there. I've even gone to like the ankles or inner thighs, anywhere where I can find a little fat. And of course the good thing is that I don't need that much fat to do this procedure.
I think you want to...
Francisco, you said the patients like the concept of taking fat away, gives them an excuse. What do you tell the patients that say, why don't we just do the whole thing with fat?
That's a very, very good question, and I've had those patients that have asked me that question. Unfortunately, I have attempted to do that, and I have attempted to do in patients with larger volume liposuction to do the whole breast with fat. Fortunately, I haven't been able to get the take or the volume that the patient requests, especially with just one procedure. And I think this issue of PRS in April, there's this outstanding paper, Curry and Rigotti and others, and Biggs, about their BRAVA system. I think that might be very interesting for the future. And hopefully, maybe in the future, we might just get rid of implants altogether.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Francisco. I think, and for sake of time, we're going to move forward here. Thank you very much.